Hey everybody, it's Cory Sanchez here, coming in from San Diego, and I've got a very special guest. His name's John Vettery, and he has been a consultant for well over a decade. He likes to work with bigger companies, and I want to bring him on because he's closing $3,000 deals where he's doing 8 weeks of curriculum with folks. He's been doing this, really having huge success with it. So I wanted to have him on there because he really talks about there's a huge need for this, right? Because I think entrepreneurs will always need more help sometimes to get to be successful. So thanks, John, for jumping on.
Sure, my pleasure, Corey.
All right. So tell us a little bit about this, because and this is how this all came about. John and I were at Fenway, and we were having a great time watching the game, and we were having hot dogs and all that stuff. And he told me, he's like, "Yeah, I just closed a consulting deal." And I was like, "Oh, that's awesome." He's like, "Yeah, I just closed it yesterday. It's a $3,000 deal, and here's what I'm doing to fulfill." And it was like, wow, this is such an incredible thing. And Ira and I have coached John previously, and I just really love how much action John takes. He's been a consultant for a couple decades now. Used to be he's an adjunct professor as well. Fantastic business owner. Has bought, sold businesses. Had a lot of successful businesses, and also some ones that took a little while to reach success. But overall, like, fantastic. Really taken all of his knowledge that he's learned over the last couple of decades and helping businesses really increase their own business, like grow and expand, or deal with a couple areas. He talked about 4 pillars, right, that he focuses on. But John, kind of tell me a little bit about what you're doing with these $3,000 deals, how many you've closed, what that looks like, how you're fulfilling all of that stuff. This is really super helpful for all of you guys that are looking at the High Paid Expert program. John was actually the inspiration for this program. So I thought I'd bring him on and actually have him talk about it. So John, over to you.
Sure, thank you. I'm happy to share what I've been up to. So yeah, I've been able to sell $3,000 8-week programs, and maybe the word sell isn't really the right word. What I enjoy doing is helping in that particular area of my business. I enjoy helping entrepreneurs, consultants, and coaches, specifically in that area, who are trying to grow their practices, trying to grow their businesses. And so what I've been doing is I use LinkedIn. I use LinkedIn quite a bit actually, to find prospects and potential clients. But I bring to them, as Corey was saying, what I like to help people focus on is, part of it is, of course, the development of their prospects and their leads, but at some point there's growing a practice. There's how do you grow a practice? How do you grow a consulting practice or a coaching practice and turn it into a real business? And that's what I enjoy helping people to do. So you probably know in your practices, you probably know people out there that need your expertise, and you're trying to find those people who need your expertise. LinkedIn's a great way to do that. And once you find them, you start building the online digital relationship with them. It's amazing how many people will be interested in learning from you about your particular area of expertise, and that's what I've been fortunate to be able to do with your guidance, you and Ira, your guidance, of course.
Thanks, John. Now tell us a little bit about the consulting model, because I'm a huge fan of it, because obviously you can provide some really important help to businesses that need it. Now let's talk about the financial areas of this, because would you say you've done about 6 figures in revenue or close to since the beginning of the year?
Yeah, that's about right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what you're doing is offering $3,000 programs, and then renewals of up to $5,000, sometimes even more, $1,000, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. So what I find is that people like to start with something that's like 8 weeks. 8 weeks, people can wrap their arms around. They can say there's a start and there's a finish. What I find is that as they work with me for that period of time, they start realizing, and I'm not tooting my own horn here, but I hope I provide significant value to people, and I hope I add value into their lives and their businesses by doing the work that I do with them. And over the course of those 8 weeks, what happens is they get to the end of those 8 weeks, they've made progress from where they were to where they are then, or where they really wanted to get to. We try to be realistic about where they're going to get to in those 8 weeks. And then they want more. So I have a very high renewal rate at this point as well. And then, yes, I'll turn that into the next phase is a 20-week program for them. And some people go right to that. Some people want to stick with the another 8 weeks and another 8 weeks, and that's fine too. But there's also a bunch of them out there that move into longer term. And then I have a few that actually are a year. So I've worked with them over an 8-week period of time, maybe a couple of times, and then they finally say, okay, enough of this renewal thing. Let's just do it. And so that's a monthly fee for them, and they have a year-long contract.
Right. And you're charging, I think you're charging a couple grand a month for like the people that do it for the year, correct?
That's correct.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So
$2,000 a month.
Yeah. So a $24,000 contract for the year, which is great. So great revenue. And so you know, the rule of thumb is you start off at like a $3,000 program, 8 weeks, and then you can leverage that into a $24,000 deal. So that's super exciting.
I think you have to prove yourself. I think you have to demonstrate to someone. I think you have to demonstrate to people that you actually know what you're talking about. You're in fact going to add value to them. They're going to have more than one aha moment as they're working with you. They're going to their own game is going to raise, and they're going to see that happening. And when they see that and feel that, they want more of it.
Yeah, love it. It's fantastic. And one of the great things about the High Paid Expert program is we teach you everything that you need to know to help them grow. Because we've been doing this for 7 years. So we, you know, and that's what we taught John, is how to get clients through LinkedIn. He took that information and created his own curriculum that weave that into the package, and have been having huge success with it. So John, thanks so much. Congratulations on all the success you've been having. And is there anything else you'd like to leave the audience with before we wrap this video up?
The only thing, and you've heard me say this before, is, you know, take the advice of Cory and Ira, number one. Number two, go out there and be really good at what you do and provide that value into people. And I think you'll see success as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, John. Thanks for being on. And for those of you who look at the High Paid Expert program, you know, it's a huge win for those of you that really, truly want to make $375 an hour, close $3,000 deals, leverage them into higher paid programs. Then yeah, it's a great program to go with. So thanks so much. We'll see you in there. We'll see you in the High Paid Expert program.